Live from FedEx Forum, this is The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, good people. Welcome
That is
into
a single online.
welcome to the Odds Couple. It's a Monday. It's a smaller show. It's more intimate, more thoughtful. Some say more knowledgeable than our Thursday show, which is normally the big show. I'm Lang Whitaker. I'm here in the small studio, the more knowledgeable studio, alongside two of the normal Odds Couple cast. John Roser is here with his Razorback hat next to him.
It's a hog hat. It's
Hog
a great
head.
thing. Everybody should have one. Even if you're not an Arkansas fan, you should still have a hog hat.
What's better, the hog hat or the cheese head?
The hog hat. Cheese heads are good, though. They are good. I hate the Packers, but they're good.
CJ,
I actually don't hate the Packers.
CJ Hurd also here.
What's up?
You want my hog hat?
I want to see the hog hat. You wear it all the time. I never get to look in here. Not a lot of cushion.
Well, yeah.
Not a lot of cushion. Well, there's some right here.
That's
but
not to be worn
none
in
in there.
competition. That's
It's
that's
not
purely for entertainment purposes. Only.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
I
it's
mean,
not-
you could make a fashion statement with this if you wanted to.
Statements are being made when you put that on. I agree.
as long as you're not sitting behind Rick Pitino. You know who's also not here though is Rob Fisher. Let us
Great.
know a little while ago he wasn't going to be able to make it because he's in the air with the Grizzlies. There had a bunch of time off in Los Angeles. Now they're headed to Salt Lake City. Mm-hmm. A long road trip, man. They've been gone for over a week now. And I don't know if is he back Thursday? I guess he's back Thursday.
I'm assuming so.
No, they'll be in Oklahoma City.
They play
Oh,
Thursday
that's
night.
right.
Yeah. All right. Well, he'll be with us on Skype, hopefully, because
Yeah.
he's not having to travel.
Something like that.
Fingers crossed.
Anyway, welcome to the show. We're going to start with some Memphis talk from the weekend. Everybody watched games, I suppose.
Yeah, we did. We watched all the
What
games.
was the best game you watched this weekend, Roser? Not a lot of exciting finishes.
It wasn't Grizzlies Clippers.
No.
That Colorado State Maryland game was really good. Let's see. I thought BYU Wisconsin. That is something, I guess, because I loved Arkansas Kansas. I liked
Yeah.
Arkansas St. John's.
Arkansas St. John's was fun.
Yeah, Drake Missouri. Yeah, I mean there was nothing like. The only buzzer beater we got was the Maryland Colorado State one, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Did the guy walk at the end of that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I
Either.
don't
It looked
know.
weird though. The first
Yeah.
time you see it, you're like, all
Yeah.
right, that's
I don't think so.
like one of those YouTube or TikTok videos where the
Yeah.
guy does some crazy move and you're like, that might be a little bit over the line, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Yeah, I watched the Florida
Florida UConn was really
Florida
good.
UConn was a
Yeah.
great game.
Yeah.
There were some like crazy shots down the stretch in that one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a game that wasn't fun. Memphis and Colorado State.
Yeah.
Although I texted Devin during that game.
It wasn't a bad game.
Well,
Just Memphis lost.
it was
the
for
second
PJ
half
Haggerty,
was-
and other than Dane Danger, nobody on Memphis was great. I texted Devin during the game, and I said, Dane Danger, I think, kind of became what we thought James Wiseman was going to be,
Yeah.
like the dominant post player. Like he was, blocking shots, intimidating guys, rebounds. He was amazing in that game. Especially, I think if you only watch Memphis at the start of the season, he has gotten so much better just this year.
Yeah.
And become such a better player and, so good that you're like, all right, well, I don't think he's coming back no matter what way they've tried to get him back. Like, I mean, he
I think he's going to
talked
try
about a medical
and get a medical.
Yeah, he's gonna try.
I mean,
exemption, but
why?
I would doubt it.
Yeah.
Why would you go back to college after
What
that?
is he going to do? He's a couple of good games, and Dane Danger is really, really good. But I think it would behoove him to go back if he could for another year. I wouldn't imagine that he's got any sort of significant draft hype. He'll be somebody who, even if he's drafted, it'll probably be second round type thing. And then it's, hey, go and develop some in the G League. So before you do that, if you can avoid doing that by spending another
Make
year in
more money in
undergrad.
college now.
Yeah,
and
he
that's
can
the
make,
other part.
he would definitely make more money playing another year of college basketball than he would going to the NBA. Also, he runs into the he's an old school player, man. He's an old school guy. He's a back to the basket, post you up, hit you with the post moves, and then hit you with the jump hook.
He's an old school player to new school fool.
Yeah.
He can also do things like get rebounds and dribble at the length of the court.
He can offensive rebound,
Euro
that's for
step,
sure.
all that kind of stuff.
Played so good he played the entire game. And that tells me that Coach Hardaway and the Tigers coaching staff, it's like, if we take him out there, we might, when we put him back in, be completely out of this thing. And they needed to take him out. He was tired.
I get it, like Tyrese Hunter was hurt. The backup guy was hurt. Haggerty didn't play well. Other than Danger, nobody really was that dominant for Memphis in that game. Do we subscribe to the notion that Penny Hardaway deserves some blame for their performance, or is this just like they didn't have the players available?
I don't know. They lost to a good team. Like, it happens.
Who the hell is a good team that's seated at 12?
I don't know. They were favored over them.
Okay, yeah, because Memphis isn't good either.
Okay, so you don't think Memphis is good. Okay, so, I don't know. You're not firing Penny Hardaway. If you want to, cool. If you don't want to, fine. Like, it's just I don't know. Like, whatever. Seriously, I don't care. Like, if you want to fire Penny Hardaway,
who are you going to replace him with?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care either. Like, it's whatever. Like, they're not firing him, so it's like
I think the most important thing that the Tigers program can do right now is get the NIL thing figured out and get more of it, because we'll talk about some of these other teams that are left in the Sweet 16. Yeah. 4 of them got first year coaches. Dusty May at Michigan, Arkansas, John Calipari, Coach Pope at Kentucky, and then BYU's coach who's escaping my mind right now. But all 4 of them went out there. They had to hit the transfer portal hard because all the players transferred out after the previous coach left. And you look up, and because they were able to work the portal the right way, because they had the right amount of NIL money, they were able to get a competitive roster out there on the court, and they were able to get to the Sweet 16. So I think Penny Hardaway is a good coach. I also think he deserves some of the blame for what transpired against Colorado State, because you're a 5 seed losing to a 12. That shouldn't happen. You're a 5 seed that is an underdog.
Year.
It shouldn't happen.
But it does.
It does, but it's not. It shouldn't.
Yeah.
You're 7 seeds higher than that team.
The one thing
what are we talking about here?
Should the favorite win?
You shouldn't be a dog to Colorado State. Should Memphis be
Colorado State should have been the 5 seed. But that's not
should Memphis be an underdog to Colorado State?
Sure, they were.
Okay, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't. Colorado State.
It's not the first time Colorado State favored over a 5,
Colorado State had to win their tournament to get into the field of 68. Yep. So you're telling me that Memphis can't be favored over that?
People were upset about Memphis being a 5.
I couldn't believe they got a 5.
As good as they were all season long, they ran away with the AAC. The one thing about the conferences is and the NIL money is all 16 teams that are left are majors. There's no mid-major teams left. 7 are from the SEC, 4 from the Big 10, 4 from the Big 12, 1 from the ACC. This is the fewest conferences ever in the Sweet 16.
If it happens again next year, then we'll perk up. But for this year, I'm just going to say it's a 1-year thing.
Could be.
Yeah, it could just be a 1-year thing, because the last 2 years the national title has been UConn. But I would say all these Sweet 16 schools.
But UConn's a major too.
Yeah, I would say all these Sweet 16 schools. They've all got more money than Memphis.
But that's the thing you need to fix. If you're
I don't
going
know how do you fix that?
Well,
get somebody in who's going to pay money.
Either that,
get
or
more Fred Jones.
You get more of the
Fred
pie,
Jones is in.
You get more of the pie than football.
Yeah,
there's a pie. All these schools have a pie. It gets divided different ways.
They also pay Penny less than what you would have to pay another coach to come in here to take the job.
Yeah.
And Penny doesn't use it as a stepping stone. That's the argument for it. It's like, anybody else we hire, if they do good, another school's going to go snatch them.
How about this? Pat Forty had a line today. I just copied this out of this. Every coach from a non-power conference who won a game in the tournament or has either left for a bigger program or is expected to leave soon. Will Wade, McNeese State, gone, NC State. Ben McCollum, Drake, gone, Iowa. Nico Medved, Colorado State, looks like he's going to Minnesota.
He is. He's gone, Minnesota.
Richard Pitino, New Mexico, looks like he's going to Villanova. Like, you don't have to worry about Penny going somewhere.
Yeah, you don't have to worry. No, that's not something. Even if he won here, you don't have to worry about another job in college basketball taking him.
Yeah.
So being incapable of getting out of the first round is cool as long as he doesn't leave.
No. That's not what we're saying.
It's setting a low standard.
Not exactly what we're saying. Because I get it. It goes both ways. Like, if he does happen to make the Sweet 16 ever, you don't have to worry about another college coming and taking him.
Yeah.
On the other hand, whatever your budget is, say you do hire another coach. Whatever your budget is, you're going to have to pay that coach more money than what you pay Penny Hardaway now, which is fine. But does that then dip into what you have available for NIL for players? All coaches are going to care about is, okay, what are you paying me? And now what do I have for NIL? That's all they care about. What do I have to pay players?
Resources.
And I guarantee you whatever you have to pay here is not as much as what you have to pay at the University of Georgia, the University of Alabama, LSU, Baylor, Arizona State. Like, those schools have more money.
Yeah, I mean, but to your bigger point, you were like, well, if you do happen to win a game against the Sweet 16, great. But they're not. They haven't done that.
No, they haven't.
And that's the part. I mean, look, I wasn't watching the game with my X's and O's hat on, but I saw so many cool plays on Twitter and stuff this weekend from like Drake and
those
all these other
teams run
schools.
their ish, man.
Yeah,
God,
and
they
like,
do. No, dude.
I didn't see that with Memphis.
Dude, Memphis doesn't run anything spectacular on offense. We've all watched Memphis play offense. It's not like there's like 2 times where I was like, oh, that was nice. Colby Rogers came off of a pin down, boom, catch, easy.
A lot of
I was like, that's
horns,
nice. And then
pick and roll.
They set a screen at like the elbow, and Danger came slipping through across the lane, boom, caught it, good position, like ran a little something like that. But the thing that was more disappointing was the defense in the second half, because that's something that Penny's teams typically have been really good at. Is he's had really good defensive teams.
Not this year.
Not last year either.
And not last year.
But that has typically been under Penny.
But that's
is
also,
their
I think, a
defense,
Colorado State.
and it was not.
Colorado State was just a good offensive team too. Like
They
they were
run
making
stuff,
every
man.
shot in the first half. What did they start out like 8 for 12?
In the second half, they
kind of like the LA
freaking-
Clippers did against the Grizzlies the other night.
Well, every team makes their shots against the Grizzlies. They can't defend either.
That was the other thing Fish wanted us to talk about in the A block is the Grizzlies fall to the Clippers.
Yeah.
I don't even know the final score. I don't want to know it.
Whatever. I knew.
That game was rough.
I thought we were in trouble when I was like, I felt good about the first half, and then
Yeah.
I went and looked at the first half box score, and I was like,
128-108.
and I was like, oh, the Clippers made every shot in the first half too. We just happened to make ours. There's another level the Clippers can go to defensively, and I don't think we can. And sure enough, the Clippers continued to make shots in the second half, and we were not as good.
Third quarter,
in the
we
second
lost
half.
36-16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can't guard anybody. We may have some nights where we make some shots. We cannot guard anybody right
Well, they
now.
kept fouling James Harden, sending him to the line.
Yeah.
He shot 1,000 free throws in the third quarter.
No,
because-
our defense has fallen off a cliff.
Yeah.
We're like bottom 10 in the league since the All-Star break.
Yeah, I think
defensively.
17th overall, something like that now. Yeah.
It's been like...
And we were like a top 6 team for a while.
The defense has fallen off a cliff. Yeah.
But that's also because we played crappy teams early on. Like now we're playing good teams almost every night.
And these other teams, now that it's getting to be playoff time,
yeah.
they raise up their level of play.
Wait, what's our level of concern with the Grizzlies right now? 10
what-
being the most, 1 being the least.
I mean, what are you trying to do?
That's what
Are
I
we
was going to
trying
say.
to win playoffs?
Just be
What's
your
your
best.
Are we trying to win a
expectation?
playoff series?
Sure.
Then it's a
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Like
That's not happening.
Yeah. Like, are you?
Are we
yeah,
making the
like-
playoffs at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be tough for them to fall out of. No, they could fall to the play-in and then not make the playoffs. Like that could happen, but they're going to at least make the play-in.
Do you got the schedule in front of you?
Yes.
What's their last 11 look like?
But you got to play it out though, because that pick you gave to Washington to take Marcus Smart, which
The Grizzlies have
was a horrible trade.
The Grizzlies,
but, like, it's unprotected.
Grizzlies
There's
have
no
the
protections
8th
on it.
hardest schedule remaining.
Okay.
Strength of schedule.
What do they
remaining. At Utah. No, that was start of the season. Let's see. We go at Utah, at OKC, here against Los Angeles, here against the Celtics, here against the Warriors, at Miami, at Detroit, at Charlotte, here against Minnesota, at Denver, here against Dallas. I counted like 3 or 4 that are like probable wins out of that.
I counted 4.
Yeah.
And so that would pit them going like 4 and what?
If they
7?
lose all those other ones.
4 and 7. and down the stretch
11
here.
left, yeah. So
That would mean that who's behind them? Timberwolves
and Golden State.
Timberwolves, Golden State. That would mean if they've also got 11 games left, they would need to win 7 of them.
And you're playing both of those
and
teams.
so that's where I just don't think the numbers would work. And if the Grizzlies do something like, I don't know what version of this Thunder team we're going to see. I don't know how much it matters how the Grizzlies have been playing, but the Thunder have locked up the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah.
Thunder might look around and say, okay, it's time to manage these minutes a bit more and sit some guys. And so the Grizzlies might be able to come out there and get them.
Whoever plays for them, they just kick everyone's butt.
They are so good defensively.
And so that might be a win. You've got the Warriors. You've got the Timberwolves. Those are absolutely must-win games for the Grizzlies. You win those, and then you would have the tiebreaker on both of those teams, I do believe.
I think so.
And so now that becomes something to look at as well. Grizzlies win 5 of their last 6. God forbid, 6 or 7 of them, they're fine. And not only are they fine from a playoff standpoint getting in, they might be as high as a 3 seed. They're only a game back of the Nuggets, aren't they, right now? So for the 3 seed. So playoffs are likely, I feel almost a certainty for the Grizzlies. Second round of the playoffs, we'll kind of see about it. Let's see what
Especially
they do.
without Brandon Clark, that's a killer.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to go through the NCAA brackets, talk about the games that are coming up. You're watching The Odds Couple here on Grind City Media.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
We're going to need, the Forum rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support. When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane 3, yes sir! Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Tony was the defensive guy, but Zebo was the offensive guy. So you could speak to this. It's way worse when you're getting doubled, right?
You got triple. I had went through that for it. When I was in Portland, you had me on the team. You got triple. You hear me, Rose? You can't talk about those. You got to talk about triple. You got triple team.
This man was scoring on 3 dudes.
Swing, TA.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple. There is no Rob Fisher. It's just Lang Whitaker along with John Roser and CJ Hurt. We just spent some time talking about Memphis hoops on the college level and the pro level. Let's talk about the NCAA tournament. I have Alabama winning it all. Are your brackets destroyed, or how do they look right now?
No, mine are good. I think I had 10 of the Sweet 16, but I've got all 4 ones in the Final Four. So, I'm sitting good right now.
CJ, how's yours looking? You probably don't do a bracket.
I got 8 of the Sweet 16, and I do believe I have. Oh no, I lost the Final Four team. I had UConn getting to the Final Four. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Why do you think I don't do one?
You just seem like the kind of person who's like.
I have all of my Elite 8 still available too.
Okay, I'm looking at mine. I got. Yeah, I gotta look. I can't get this thing to work. Oh, it's got me. Never mind. I got Alabama winning it all in both my brackets, and I have Auburn in the Final Four, and Florida, and I think I might have. can't remember who I had out of the other side. I went heavy on the SEC, thinking like
7 teams in the Sweet 16 is good.
Yeah, I mean, having 14 in the 68, you're like, all right, that's pretty good odds.
And you brought it up, Lang, last segment about the lack of conference diversity in this tournament. Well, when you put 14 teams from one conference in, chances are they're going to get a bunch of teams into the Sweet 16. So this might be more of an anomaly than we initially thought, because any conference getting 14 teams in is an anomaly. That's why it's so impressive what the SEC was doing on the hardwood all year long.
Although on day one, like the SEC didn't fare so well, and you look at it and you're like, might not be great. But then they hung around.
The top of the SEC is really, really good. Auburn, Florida, Tennessee,
Alabama,
Bama.
I think that's their own group.
Just very, very good. So those teams are going to be fine.
Yeah.
Missouri and like Georgia and those schools, like I knew they didn't really.
Yeah,
have
it was going to be more about like, did they get the right draw, get a good matchup, and Missouri got just the matchup from hell with Drake, because Missouri not a great defensive team. They want to play fast.
The Missouri coach also looks like a kid that was like trying to act like an adult.
Yeah.
Like they gave him a suit that didn't quite fit and everything.
But like Drake just does not let you play fast. Like you're going to go possession by possession. They're going to make you defend the whole 30 seconds. Like they're a pain to play against.
Let's start in the East and go through some of these. Like the teams that are left in the East. We got Duke, Arizona, BYU, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I have Alabama coming out of there. But, I mean, Duke has won the 2 games and blown people out.
Cooper Flagg looks healthy.
Yeah.
Cooper Flagg looks real good.
Right now, Duke is minus 8.5 for that game.
Yeah, but the reason why Flagg is so important isn't because he's the only good player on the court, but because he allows everybody to go from, all right, I have to be the guy, to now, I can be a role player. Somebody like Proctor. Tyrese Proctor.
Tyrese,
went out there. He's shooting 40% from 3. Went out there against Baylor and couldn't miss. 7 for 8 from 3.
I saw
like
the clip though of like him knocking down all those shots, and the announcers are going, Ian Eagle and them are going crazy. They're up by like 25. And I'm like, it's something else to do with the game on the line.
Yeah.
But I thought that was I thought Duke. Look, I think they look great. Cooper Flagg looked good, but Duke also lost games during the season. Alabama averaged 85 points a game in the first 2 games in this tournament. Can put up points with anybody. I don't know if defensively that's
Alabama
the question.
BYU game
going to be fun,
because those are 2 top 10 scoring teams in the nation. The over will probably be what your boy is laying money on. That's going to be fun. Nate Oates was asked about what is he happy to get a chance?
173 is the over, 173 and a half.
Take the over. Is how excited he is to play a team that likes to get up and down after the first 2 Alabama teams wanted to drag you in the mud. He's like, listen, man, they play like we play, and we win a whole bunch, and they win a whole bunch. I don't know what to tell you people. So I'm looking forward to that.
If we jump to the West, that Florida UConn game, we talked about that. Florida they were just making big shots down the stretch, and they have
that shot that Clayton hit,
the 3-pointer.
Oh my gosh, to put him up 6, that was insane. That's a big time shot. That's your first team All-American, and he hit the big shot.
I think
there are a couple teams that had, like Memphis needed their second team All-American PJ Haggerty to show up, and PJ Haggerty was terrible. St. John's, their second team was at Luis, their second team All-American, Big East Player of the Year, and he was so bad that Rick Pitino had to bench him in the Arkansas game.
Yeah.
So sometimes your players, your big time guys, they got to step up, and Clayton hit that shot for Florida.
Is Arkansas going to make the Elite Eight?
I've got Texas Tech in the Elite Eight, but
Texas Tech's favored by 5.5.
Yeah, Arkansas's got a ton of talent, and Boogie Fland was hurt for a lot of the year, and he's back now. Like, you see sometimes some of the one-on-one moves that those Arkansas players, where it's him, whether it's Fland or Wagner. Billy Richmond's kid had a great game the other day against St. John's, but like Wagner and Fland, like, man.
If Texas Tech can't figure out how to make a shot from 3, they're 25% in the tournament so far, then Arkansas will get to an Elite Eight.
Yeah.
Florida plays Maryland. At the moment, Florida is 6.5 point favorite. Maryland looked pretty good, eked out the win over Colorado State. They beat Grand Canyon by 30 something in the first round. But I kind of feel like I think this is still Florida's portion of the bracket.
Of the lines that I like the most this week, I like that over in BYU and Alabama. I love Florida laying the 6.5 against Maryland. Florida's just not toying with anybody. They are running around out there beating the brakes off of really, really good teams. Yeah. Some of the best teams. They beat the shit out of Tennessee. They beat the hell out of them dudes. And Maryland's no Tennessee. I think Florida gets out.
Between like they have
jumps
like
all over Maryland.
The guard, they have Condon, Richard, like Richard or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have like so many good players at all the different positions. You're like, all right.
And they hadn't even played the 7-9 kid.
Yeah. Well, he must be. Yeah. You remember Georgetown used to have a guy named Shagari Elaine, and he was like 7'5" or something. And they would play him, and he wasn't good at basketball, but he was one of those kids who, like, you saw him on the court, and you're like, all right, somebody made this kid play basketball, right?
Yeah.
So we used to, at Slam, we used to have the Shagari Lane All-Stars, just guys who looked like they didn't belong on the court. I think that 7'9" Florida kid must be in that group. He does not look
Did he
like
play
him.
on the same team as Ruben Boomche? It's all-time great college
Boomche
basketball
Boomche?
name. Ruben Boomche.
Looking at the Midwest, Houston held off Gonzaga, got the win. That was Roser's big team rolling into this whole thing, was keeping an eye on Houston. I know we get Kentucky, Tennessee. We'll talk about that in a second. Purdue has sort of had I don't know if you want to say easy, but of all these teams, I felt like Purdue kind of had the least challenging path to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I mean, and they didn't schedule it. McNeese
Yeah,
State
no, it's
went
not
out
their
there
fault.
and beat the hell out of Clemson.
Sure.
So, like, they will beat the hell out of them. Was up big on them.
But Purdue played High Point and McNeese State.
Yeah,
so-
this game's going to be a rock fight, but I think you're given. When is it, Thursday or Friday?
328. That's Friday?
Friday?
I don't know.
Wait, today's the 20th.
Today's 24. It's 5 to 6. It's Friday.
Friday. Yeah, you're giving Kelvin Sampson. So they're all American. Purdue, Braden Smith, the guard,
Second in the nation in assists per game.
Yeah, you're going to give Kelvin Sampson an entire week to come up with a game plan on how to slow him down, and I would bank on Kelvin Sampson being able to do that.
Matt Painter's
Every
good, though.
time you see Houston play, it looks like you ever played basketball against football players?
Yeah.
You know, just like way more. That's what I think playing Houston is like. It's
Must
like
be.
it's like playing basketball against 5 football players. It's like, yo,
add to
stop
that?
hitting me.
Michigan State is that way
Yeah.
also. UConn, the past 2 seasons were that way also. But Baylor was another when Baylor won the national championship.
Oh my gosh, they just beat the hell out of Gonzaga in that game.
Oh, you're just bigger than everybody.
Yeah.
Gonna just plow straight through them. This game. So much has been made about what Purdue has been without Zach Edey on the interior defensively. Per Bart Torvik, I'm channeling the notebook man,
Workplace life.
all day, every day. Purdue's 2-point defense is 341st in the nation, whereas Houston's 2-point offense is 269th, right? So Purdue is really bad defending on the inside, and you want to take all of the shots you can inside of the arc. Houston just doesn't seem to be built to do that, to take advantage in that sort of a way. I look forward, you're talking about defensively, Roser. I look forward to seeing what adjustments Sampson makes for that Houston offense to
I would
try and
say,
get
yeah.
easy buckets.
Their
Cryer,
offense
as
down
long
the
as
stretch.
LJ Cryer's like I saw them play Purdue or Iowa during the season, and he got hot and was going off.
Yeah.
Like he's the guy to me. Like as long as he's going offensively, like that's all you need. You just need one guy to kind of carry the offensive load, and then on defense you have your offensive line out there to block for you.
I think what happens in college basketball, aside from their teams are not. The players are not as good as they are in the pros, but like you see these teams, and these are some of the better teams in the country. They are so good defensively, and offensively down the stretch, it just looks like a mess. And what are you running? And I think some of that is also just how physical college basketball is. Like you're allowed to be more physical in college basketball, which makes it tougher to get around screens. Players are allowed to get away with grabbing, holding a little bit more. You see teams like Houston, Tennessee. I see even Arkansas. You watch Arkansas's offense sometimes. Auburn's offense.
Yeah.
When are we getting to Auburn, Michigan? Because
It's coming up.
Okay.
But before we get there, Juwan Roberts, keep an eye on him for Houston. He might be set, the big guy for Houston, 5th-year senior, I do believe. He might be set to
Let's
have
hit
a nice
Tennessee,
game against
Kentucky
Purdue.
real quick. Tennessee's a 4.5-point favorite.
Yeah,
in this
Tennessee's
game.
0-2 against Kentucky this year. Impressive that Kentucky's here without probably their second best player, Jackson Robinson, who's out for the season. They always say it's tough to beat the team 3 times in a row, but like this is.
Who do you trust more?
At some point, is it mental?
Mark Pope or Rick Barnes?
Well, I don't know why you would trust Rick Barnes in the NCAA tournament. There's no reason
That's
to.
my point.
Having said that, this is Rick Barnes' 3rd straight Sweet 16 at Tennessee. It's the 3rd straight year he's made the Sweet 16.
Last year he got to the Elite Eight.
Last year he got to the Elite Eight, and you lost to Zach Edey in a close game. Zach Edey and Purdue, who, like that.
Made the championship game.
Yeah, right. Like, so there's no shame in that. I'm going to say Tennessee gets it done.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll come down to the players on the court. It'll be Chaz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll come down. That's what it'll come down to. It won't come down to you and I.
I would roll with Kentucky. Just I feel like Mark Pope it's one of those. He's like the hot coach right now. The team's playing well.
Yeah. So you're saying it's going to come down to
I say
coaching.
It doesn't come down to the players.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark Pope's down for it. But
I think a team with Lanier and Ziegler on it is absolutely going to be good enough and meet this moment.
You got Arkansas, Tennessee, and BYU all in the Sweet 16. No, got to be happy.
How about
first year coaches?
Yeah.
SEC? I mean the SEC South region is the only one we haven't talked about yet. Auburn. Well, we start Ole Miss, Michigan State.
All right, Chris Beard has won his first round game after he beat North Carolina. Every year he's been in the NCAA tournament, he's won his first round game. He's never lost in the opening round.
Michigan State favored by 2.5.
Yeah, that might have been one that we should have seen coming with Ole Miss because that might have been a bet, is Ole Miss to make the Sweet 16 because, one, Chris Beard has never lost his opening round game. So then you're just counting on him beating Iowa State or Lipscomb. And even if you look at the Iowa State matchup, we talked about going in this Iowa State second leading scorer was going to be out for the whole tournament. That right there, along with Chris Beard and his history, that probably could have been one that hindsight's always 20/20, but that we could have looked back at.
Also, I think
Memphis beat both of these teams.
I think Ole Miss can,
by the way,
can just outscore. I think Ole Miss can outscore them.
Memphis beat Ole Miss
and Michigan State.
I thought they beat Mississippi State. Okay.
No, they lost to Mississippi State.
Beat Ole Miss.
Mississippi State.
I just don't know if Michigan State has enough offensively.
I don't know if they need it.
Yeah, like
Ole Miss can they can score some points.
Okay,
they have Padula.
I know, I went into this tournament, I wasn't believing in Ole Miss, but here they are, first Sweet 16 since 2001. Congrats to them.
Per Ken Palm,
I love Ken Palm.
A top 2 seed has never made the Final Four if they began the year outside of the AP top 25. Michigan State is a 2 seed. They started the year outside of the AP top 25. St. John's is the other 2 seed this year. Who started the year outside of the top 25. So that's just a little tidbit.
It leaves us with Auburn and Michigan.
All right, so Michigan has the coaching advantage.
Auburn's
here.
favored by 8.5 in this one.
Dusty May, he's got to be great. You do what you do at Florida Atlantic. You come into Michigan your first year. You win the Big Ten tournament. I know y'all had an up and down season, didn't you? And then
just a whole lot of unnecessarily close games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I forget which UC they played in the first round, but Michigan's season was a whole lot of that.
San Diego, you got up, you're 14 at halftime.
Got up and okay, you're in control of this. Continue to stay in control, and then just for whatever reason, let go of the rope, and you end up with a situation where Michigan has 12 wins by 4 points or less, something like that. And it's just I watched a ton of Michigan basketball. I would tell you 8 or 9 of those 4-point games should not have been 4 points. Michigan was in control, and Michigan was the better team for the entirety of the game, and they just goofed around and let another team back in it. And I still can't get the Michigan State ass whooping out of my head, where Michigan State just bullied those dudes off of the court. So if you can do that, and I think Auburn's got some of that bully in them. So if you can do that, you can get at this Michigan team.
I've said all along the thing that scares me about Auburn is that Baker Mazzara is like a crazy dude, and you're like, he's probably their most dynamic player. I know they have John Broome and Pettiford was awesome in that one game. I don't know if he'll keep that up this whole time.
They take. I'm watching that Creighton game, and even down the stretch, I'm like, they are so talented. Auburn is. God, they will take some bad shots. Like that Pettiford dude will just dribble, boom, step back, fadeaway jumper, and it's like, and sometimes that goes in, and when it does, but man, Auburn takes some bad shots. That being said, they're still going to win the national title. sticking with them.
Janai Broome is like
Go Tigers.
Draymond Green and Jared Dudley's body.
He really is.
Makes sense.
And he looks like Jared Dudley, kind of.
What's that's one of my picks. I like that line on the Michigan side. I think that's too many points. 9.5 is what I saw.
9.5.
Michigan plus the 9.5.
That means it came down.
I'm not sure if Auburn. No, I know nobody's seen 7-footers 2 times on the court, right? Michigan throws out in Golden and Wolf 2 legitimate 7-footers who, in their game against Texas A&M, went for combined about 50 points, 6 blocks, and 19 rebounds or something ridiculous like that. So Broome is great.
He's okay, but he's a little undersized.
So undersized with 2 7-footers. So if you're going to run over there with Golden guarding him, I would assume he'd be primary defender. Even though Wolf isn't on him, Wolf in help defense, Wolf floating about makes it hard to pass out of.
But Wolf feels like he'd be a better defender on Broome because he feels like he's a little more like savvy and kind of tricky.
Crafty,
you know what I mean? Yeah, like he's kind of got.
He's got old man game.
Yeah, sort of. And Broome does too. Yep. So it feels like they'd be a good fit. Hey, you guys want some nuggets?
No, love nuggets.
Let's do some fish nuggets. Rob did send us the nuggets. The only Final Four in the past 11 years that didn't feature a 7 seed or higher was 2019. It was a 1, 2, 3, and a 5 seed. Right now, the Arkansas is a 10 seed. They're the lowest seed remaining in this thing.
Yeah, what was it? 13 seeds, 13, 14, 15, 16 winless.
Yeah.
In this tournament for the first time since 2017.
13 of the past 17 national champs were the number 1 seed. While it's fun to fire on upsets in the early rounds, Fish wrote, and guess the Cinderella squad that will make a run, the champion will be a top team. Rob doesn't normally editorialize in the Nuggets like that, does he?
He is adamant about that one. Every year he wants you to know, hey,
he says,
it's a 1 seed coming
while
through.
It's fun to fire on upsets. All right, the 4 top non-seeds that won a title the past 17 years, because 13 of 17 did it. Yeah. The 4 who didn't. 4 seed UConn, 2023. 2 seed Villanova, 2016. 7 seed UConn, 2014. And 3 seed UConn, 2011. So it's like if you're a top 4 seed or UConn, probably.
Can I add to that? 21 of the last 22 national championship teams have either been top 3 in KenPom or UConn. So teams that are top 3, UConn's been eliminated. Teams that are top 3 in KenPom, Duke, Houston, Florida.
How about this?
All 1 seeds.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
21 of the past 22 national champions have finished top 25 in KenPom offensive and defensive efficiency ranking. 7 teams based on this trend that qualify. Auburn, Duke, Houston, Florida, Tennessee, Iowa State, Clemson.
Iowa State and Clemson are done.
Yeah.
Yep.
So only 5
left. Auburn, Duke,
Houston, Florida,
and Tennessee. Yeah. Go Vols.
Teams that have won at least 1 game in the NCAA tournament every year since 2019. Baylor, Gonzaga, Houston.
Good for them.
Yeah. Last one. Matt Painter has 5 losses versus double-digit seeds. That's the most since seeding began in 1979. But he's got Purdue in the Sweet 16 for the 6th time in the last 8 tournaments.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. Big time.
Although Roser had him losing. Tomorrow,
Purdue too. I had them losing to High Point. They didn't lose. Oh no, I had Clemson over McNeese and High Point over Purdue. That part of the bracket, totally screwed.
You're out.
Totally screwed.
All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, it's the game show that has been sweeping the country. It has swept the country so good it's gotten ripped off by rival networks. We're gonna play a little Who Said It.
I love Who Said It.
When we get back, you're watching The Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
You've coached a lot of different versions of the SEC, and obviously there's never been one deeper than this. What's it like been coaching in this?
The reason for the league being so good is the commitment. Commitment to coaching, commitment to facilities, commitment to the NIL across the board. There is not anybody in our league that's not investing in all those things.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Who said it? Who said it? Who said it? Who said it?
Welcome back to the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media.
Who said it?
It's time for Who Said It. Lang Whitaker here with John Roser, CJ Hurd. We're going to play the game show that's been sweeping the nation. It's been ripped off by rival networks. It's just so popular, we don't know what to do about it. And there's a lot of press conferences that have been happening this last week. I'm going to give these guys some quotes, some clips from different availabilities, players, coaches, people like that talking, and they're going to try to guess who said it. So we have a bonus clip to start with. Also, I forgot to even include this. Who said it favorite? Jameis Winston signed with the New York Giants. 2-year deal.
Perfect for one.
Media capital of the country. We're going to get more.
Who reported it?
We're going to get even more Jameis content is my takeaway from that. So that's a win-win for all of us. As Rob said, great for the show. So I think it should be. All right. We also have a bonus clip here. There's no real quote here, but which coach in the NCAA tournament urged his players? They did like the post game, and they had their names on the nameplates. And some of the players saw the nameplates and were like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." Which coach said, "Take those and take everybody's. Have a souvenir."
Well, it was the school that Michigan beat, UC whatever.
No, San Diego.
Yeah, UC San Diego.
You want to play it, Jacob?
Billy Carter and Janelle, thank you for your time. Can head on back. Thank you. Questions for Coach Calipari?
No. Coach
Go ahead, front left. If we can get a mic up here.
Oh.
Can we get a mic up here at front left?
Take it. Take theirs too. Take theirs. Give them to them.
There we go. Right here, Coach, front left. Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny the things that like those guys are getting paid 6 figures probably, and that's what they want to keep.
That's good.
Yeah,
it's a memory.
Cool.
It's a memory for them.
I have Steven Jackson's nameplate from the 2001 rookie game. He had it over his locker.
Yeah,
and left it, and then we grabbed it and saved it and gave it to him.
Oh,
a couple
nice.
years later. Yeah. All right, here we go. Clip 1. And this is actually, to make this a little easier, this is from the conference tournaments, not the NCAA tournament. Okay. Coach says, disappointing outcome, but that plays true to the pitiful, embarrassing season that we had. That falls on me, and I will work to correct it. Who said it?
Who had a disappointing season?
A lot of teams.
Yeah, so many.
Pitiful.
So many.
He didn't. He said disappointing outcome. He said the season was pitiful and embarrassing.
It sounds like something that
Bill
would say.
Self.
Was it Bill Self? It sounds like something Pitino would say, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't Pitino. Will World was Self.
It's a coach that did not make the NCAA tournament.
Oh, didn't make the tournament?
Yeah.
Who didn't make the? Well, Hubert Davis made the tournament. Yeah, but who would like?
I don't think you're going to get it.
Then why would you give us something that we're not going to get?
Let's go with Bill Self.
Like, we at least got to have a chance.
Bill
Self,
you got a chance.
Answer.
Not really. If it said it's not a team we're going to get.
I mean, it's a major team.
Bill Self final answer.
I just don't
he
think
said
he'll
it's
get
a
it.
team that didn't make the tournament. I'll go with the LSU coach, McMahon.
All right. You gonna roll it? It's Kim English from Providence.
Yeah, nobody's getting that. That is not a big name team.
Disappointing outcome and play true to the pitiful, embarrassing season we've had.
Is that a player sitting right next to him as he's saying that?
And the guy next to him, like, he looks like the athletic director or somebody. The guy's like alarmed. Like, why would you come out and just say that?
Shout out Kim English.
Kim English.
Missouri had a disappointing end to their season, too.
Kept it real. All right, clip 2. This is a really long thing, but here's the part I pulled out of it. We talked on Sunday night, right before Selection Sunday. He gave me a term sheet. I really wasn't focused on it. I was focused on Selection Sunday and this. You know, it's tough to negotiate with someone who's not here.
Tough to negotiate with someone who's
Clearly
not
a coach
here.
who is up, contract.
Is it Will Wade? I'm going to go Will Wade.
Yeah, Will Wade.
Roll it.
Either that or the Maryland coach.
It took you guys 3 questions.
Maryland, yeah.
I wanted to ask about the basketball
Maryland,
too.
yeah.
But obviously your name has come up in
The crazy
as
part
a
about
candidate
this-
for various positions.
Yeah.
Maryland
The
has
part
done
where
so
he says
well
it's
this year.
tough to negotiate with
have you
someone who's
felt
not here?
compelled to
The Maryland
address
athletic director is
any of that
Dan
with your
Ward.
team at all about your future at Maryland?
He was sort of like
Yeah,
timid that
I've
he was
I've
going to
addressed
maybe
it
move
with him
on.
directly.
He says it on the press conference. This is the first time
I'll say
anyone
this. If
officially.
this is,
and he actually says, "Oh, he's
Damon
going to
and I talked
SMU,"
on
so he's
Sunday
not.
night right
He can't be
before,
here. He
right
also goes on to
before,
complain about the NIL money that they
Selection
have,
Sunday.
and that they
He-
weren't
he-
able
he
to stay
gave
an
me a
extra
term
night in
sheet
New York
right
City.
before Selection
I
Sunday.
saw that part.
Yeah.
Like he kind of like napalmed this press conference. You're like, oh my gosh! And now they're in the Sweet 16, so he looks like a genius. Like that he spoke his truth, and now he's like actually winning games.
Yeah.
And might be getting a big contract now because of all that. All right, clip 3. He's a $175 soaking wet, and he's got a bony ass. So when he lands on the ground, bam, it's wood on bone. So he probably got a pretty good bruise. Who said it?
Penny Hardaway about PJ Haggerty? He's a slightly framed dude.
I think it's like which coach would use the phrase a bony ass? Roser, no cheating, no looking it up.
I'm not. All right.
Bruce Pearl would use that, but I don't think all his players got junk in the trunk.
Rick Pitino would say that too.
Don't all his players got junk in the trunk?
I don't know. I don't look at the junk
You don't
in
look
the
at the
trunk.
junk in the trunk?
I
Bro,
don't know.
they're down in defensive stands. How can you not see the junk in the trunk? You want some junk in the trunk on the box out. I don't know, man.
Is this an NCAA tournament team?
Yeah.
It is.
Let's go with Sparty. Let's go with Tom Izzo. They got some
I'm gonna
slightly
say
framed
Rick
dudes.
Pitino.
I'm going Izzo.
Whoa. Hang on. Calipari. There's an Arkansas dude who had a tough fall.
Okay.
There's an Arkansas dude who had a tough fall, even though we already had a Calipari win. I'm going to go Calipari again.
Did we have a Calipari win?
Yeah, that was the
This
first
is a bonus one.
Okay.
They don't have the
It's
video.
Bruce Pearl.
Yeah,
It's Bruce Pearl.
you had the good call.
I can't
yeah.
think
It
of
was
anybody who's
Baker
bony.
Mazzara.
Oh, I forgot about
He got
him.
hurt. He fell on his hip, or apparently he has a bony ass.
But there was I think it was either in the Kansas or the St. John. Oh, those are the only 2 games Arkansas's played. So, yes, it had to be one of those, one of their guys
All right, 3 more.
fell.
Here's another NCAA coach. Guys get to college, and it's way harder than they think. Unless you're Michael Jordan or Cooper Flagg, 99.9%. It's harder than they think, or they thought it was going to be. Then you either make excuses, quit, transfer, blame others, or you get to work. And that's what life's about.
Rick Pitino. I don't know.
I don't think it's Patino, but we'll roll with Patino. I saw this clip and can't remember who it was. Patino, let's do it.
These guys get to college,
Oh,
and it's way
Cronin!
harder than they
Oh.
thought. Unless your name
He
is
reminds me of
Michael
Paul
Jordan
Schaefer.
or Cooper Flagg, guys like that. Alonzo Ball, Kevin Love. 99.9% of them, it's harder than they
like
think.
that
He was like, wait a second, I'm at UCLA. Let me start
Then
naming
you
UCLA
either
players.
make excuses,
Kareem
quit,
Abdul-Jabbar,
transfer,
Bill Walton.
Lou Alcindor,
blame others,
Jamal Wilkes.
or you get to work. And that's what life's about.
Anyway, good quote. Good.
I should have got
fire you up.
Cronin.
Well, here's a
Shout
similar-
out Mick Cronin.
Here's a similar quote from a coach who's like telling you what it's about. Like, Clip 5. You get caught up in this tidal wave of success that we've had. You lose perspective. You struggle with the ego at times because you've been on this incredible run.
Dan Hurley.
No. This is somebody who is not pissed off at the officials. Is it Hurley?
I would say going into the year.
My guy!
There's a lot. I mean, rewiring and things I got to do in the off season because you just get caught up in this tidal wave of success that we've had and you just you lose perspective. You struggle with the ego at times because you've been on this incredible run. So it'll be nice to get to a normal off season and just get back to myself as a coach and not have to throw out first pitches. You should only be ringing.
He needs a normal offseason where he doesn't get connected to the Los Angeles Lakers job on his own. Publicly flirt with an NBA job. I didn't think it'd be possible for me to like a Hurley less than Bobby Hurley after growing up in the 90s.
Yeah.
I got a new one I don't like.
Still the best damn coach in the game right now.
Maybe.
He's great.
Yeah.
I like Dan Hurley. I think he's good for college basketball.
I don't. That was after he cussed out the referees and when he was walking off the court and he said they got screwed by the refs.
Hope you guys don't get F'd by the refs like
he
we
told
did.
Baylor we got screwed by the refs, and then he came out and was like, "Oh, it's just a long season."
Oh yeah, I forgot they did threaten the reporter that posted the video. Yeah, we're gonna pull the credentials.
Whatever. All right, last clip, clip 6. This is not a college coach. I'm telling you right now, if you ask 95% of the league, there's another 5% who don't really care what they play. If you ask 95% of the league if they would rather be playing 15 minutes or 35 minutes a night, I guarantee you 95% of them would say 35 minutes.
Coach or player?
Player. NBA player.
NBA player. Paul George?
No. Paul George is out for the year. He's not talking to anybody.
He's not doing the podcast anymore?
He's doing something with his girlfriend on a boat.
Turn up.
Saw that video?
No.
Oh, yeah, you can go see that picture.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
Is that? Can I look at that on my work computer?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. But
LeBron?
Well,
or Draymond Green.
This is we can just play it and I'll explain it after if you want.
A kid or blame the Dallas Mavericks.
People say
and all this other stuff. They were trying to blame people for that because I was playing a lot of minutes. I'm telling you right now, right? If you ask 95% of the league, there's another 5% that don't really care what they play. But if you ask 95% of the league if they'd rather be playing 15 minutes or 35 minutes a night, I guarantee you 95% of them would say 35 minutes.
Okay.
He did a
Hooper's want to hoop, man.
Yeah. He did like a 5-hour Twitch stream where he was playing video games and just talking, and he talked about that and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's this week's.
He's good to listen to. Talk like when he actually really talks
about like geography.
Talks about basketball and stuff. Like he's yeah.
He also talked.
KD's one of those too. Like when they actually talk basketball, really talk about it.
He
like
did a thing talking about like the former players who have podcasts now and how like some of those guys have kind of let the current players down.
Yeah.
And kind of ripped on them a little bit for some of the stuff that gets said on all those podcasts. Before we get out of here, let's look at some of the early lines. We talked about most of those NCAA tournament ones. Anyone really jump out at you? You wanted you mentioned one.
The over in the Alabama BYU game.
Yeah.
The Michigan plus the 9.5 against Auburn. And then who was the other team that we talked about?
That Michigan line's
Florida.
down to like 7.5 now.
The Florida game. Florida's minus 6.5 against Maryland.
What's Texas Tech's number? It's like 4.5, 5.5.
Yeah.
I like Texas Tech against Arkansas. I like Duke. I think Duke's going to win by double digits against Arizona.
Yeah, I can see that.
The rest of them, I don't know. I lean Auburn. I do. We might have a lock fight there. You know, shout out to the Cover 3 pod.
That wouldn't be my lock.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a lock.
I'm picking that over is the lock.
Because that
I know
line,
that over is going to hit.
That line in Auburn, Michigan was pretty much double digits when it opened, and now it's come down. And part of me is like, why was that line even there to begin with? It seems crazy.
Some Michigan fans might bet that line down. They do move
that
lines.
seems crazy to me. So seems crazy. Maybe it's true.
Hey, guess what happens this week? Baseball starts Thursday,
Didn't it
opening
start
day.
already? I saw Pikachu and them over in Japan
They
kicking
had
it.
a game over there. The Braves played the Padres starting on Thursday. I'm taking the Braves minus 130 starting opening day. Chris Sale's on the bump for the Braves. Fish's Cardinals are back. Sonny Gray on the hill.
Go Giants.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Braves open at the Padres and at the Dodgers. Like what a gauntlet to start the season.
I didn't know the Padres were good.
Yeah, they're good. They got like a stacked roster.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
Fathers.
All right.
Yeah.
That's all we got. We'll see you on Thursday, and we'll have Are we doing shows like normal on Thursday? Last week we did not.
Yeah.
We are this year. All right. All right. We'll see you Thursday. We'll get back, talk more basketball. And for Roser, for CJ, for Jacob, for Fish, I'm Lang. See you next week. You're watching The Odds Couple here on Grind City Media.